Hello students, today we are going to learn one more interesting topic about the functions, that is how we can have functions with the default arguments or default actual arguments. We know that in case of the functions we divide our code into different modules, and each function is an independent block of a code. We do this in C or C++ in order to increase the understandability of the code, make the debugging easier, use the code again and again. That is what we call as reusability of the code, reduce the development time, and to do the debugging of the each module easily. That is why we divide our code into different modules. Now once we use the concept of the functions, there is always a calling function and there is a called function, or there is a caller and a called function or calling. So once we have got a caller and a called function, the communication between the caller and the called function takes place through actual argument, and the called actual arguments are passed by the calling function or the caller to the called function, and the called function receives those actual arguments in the formal parameters. Now this process can either take place by value or by reference or by address, and we have understood that, and we have taken a video lectures on that also. Now today we are going to see how we can pass actual arguments by default. That is, normally in the function call, what happens that a caller should specify the actual arguments in the function call. It is possible in C++ that we can specify default values for the actual arguments or actual parameters in the function definition or function prototype. Normally we specify the values in the function definition when the functions are called after they have been defined, or we have to specify the default values in the function prototype whenever the functions are called and they are defined later. That is, the call to the function takes place before the function definition. In that case we use the function prototype. We have also discussed what's a function prototype. Now parameters without default values have to be placed first, and those with the default values are to be placed later. That is, the parameters which don't have a default values are to be placed first, and those parameters which have the default values are to be placed later in the function prototype, or in a function what you call definition in the function declarator. In the function call, the missing actual arguments will be replaced by the default values. In case we don't pass the actual arguments, we will see that they will be replaced by the default values. Now functions can be declared with more than one default value. Yes, it is possible that we can have default value for more than one actual arguments. Now in case of the default values, the variable names may be omitted in the function prototype. This is a normal rule also. This is a normal rule also, that variable names may be omitted in the function prototype. Okay. Now let us go into the IDE and see the concept practically. Okay. Let me define one function before the main. Suppose I have function x that is defined before the main, and I have a function y that is defined after the main. I have not yet written the function declarator for both the functions, that I have not specified any formal arguments. I will be specifying them. Let the return type be void for both the functions. That is, these functions are not returning any values. Okay. Now if I specify two arguments for x, say int a comma int b, okay, then I can specify the four arguments for y, say int x comma int y comma int l comma int m. These arguments are called formal arguments or formal parameters. Now x has two formal parameters a and b, and y has four formal parameters or formal arguments, that is x, y, l and m. Let us rename this argument because it has the same name as function. Let me call this argument as O. Okay. Now x has got two arguments and y has got four arguments or formal parameters. Now let us make calls to these functions. Now I am calling x from the main. Since x has been defined before it is called in the main, therefore we can make a call to x. Okay. Let me compile the program. Okay, there are no errors as of yet. Now let me call y and let me pass four parameters to it. Okay. Now once I call y and pass four parameters to it, let me make a call. In this case we will get an error because the function has been defined after it has been called. Since I makes call to the y and y has been defined later, therefore in this case we will get a error. What is the way out of it? That we have to give the function prototype or function declaration. Let me compile and see if we get an error. Yes, we have an error which I had already predicted. The error is that that function should have a prototype. Now how do we declare a prototype? We simply copy the first line of the function, okay, and we place it at the top. It indicates to the compiler that we are later on defining a function with name y and it has got four arguments and that is four formal parameters, and so you need to pass four actual arguments. Since the compilation takes from top to bottom, that is why we give a prototype, and now in this case once we compile we will be getting any error. I have already discussed the function prototype in detail in my video on function prototypes. Now we don't have any problem in this program, we don't have any errors, so we have created two functions. One is x, which has got two formal parameters or two formal arguments, and one is a y, which has got four parameters or four arguments. Now let us see one more thing. If I pass lesser number of arguments to the x, let us see what happens. It will report an error. Once I compile, there is an error. What is the error? Error is here that there are too few parameters in call to the x. Why? Because we have declared x and we have defined the x, and we have specified two formal parameters for it. One is a and one is b, and in the actual parameters we are passing only one actual parameter. So the number of actual parameters should be same as the number of formal parameters. It cannot be less. Once I place that, okay, now again I compile, you will see the error will not be there because I have passed that many actual parameters as are the formal parameters. For x we are passing, main is passing two actual parameters, so main is the calling function and x is the called function. So main is making call to the x and it is specifying two actual parameters, and the copy of these actual parameters is received in a and b. Now for y we have got four actual parameters. Now one more thing which we are going to see, if I pass one more actual parameter, then the number of parameters specified in the function declarator, that is the first line of the function. Okay, in the first line of the function for y I am specifying how many formal parameters? 4, and now in a call to the y I am passing 5 actual arguments. Again, if you see, if I compile, there will be error. What is the error? The error is there is an extra parameter in a call to y. Okay, now we cannot have more number of actual parameters than the more number of formal parameters. So this is a general rule that is followed for the function. That is in a function call, the number of actual parameters that are passed to the function should be same as the number of the formal parameters. It cannot be more and it cannot be less. We have seen if we pass lesser number of actual parameters, there is error, and if we pass an extra parameter, there is error. So the number has to be same. Okay, now so we have to specify that many actual parameters as are the number of formal parameters. Now we can specify default values to the actual parameters. Let us see first for the function x. Suppose for the b I specify the default value as 9. Okay, now a is equal to a plus 1. Suppose just to explain this, and b is equal to b plus 1. Okay, let me call this function now. The moment I make a call, I am calling x now. I have specified a as the value 3 and b I have specified the value of 6. Let us see what happens in the watch window. We will watch the values of a and b. Now I watch the value of a. Okay, that has the value 3. Since the actual argument that I have supplied in the main in a call to x is 3. That's the first actual argument, and the copy of the 3 goes into the a. Now the second actual argument, the value I have specified as 6. Okay, now here my second actual argument is b. Let us watch its value. Once you see the watch value, you watch the value of b, you see its value is 6 because we have passed 6 as the actual argument. Now for the b, if you see, we have given some initial value. This is actually a default value. The default value for the b which I have specified is 9. But in case you supply the actual parameter, the default value will not be used, as you have seen that in this call the value of b is 6 because we have specified both the actual arguments in a call to x. Okay, now if I change a and b, I am increasing the value of a by 1. You see it has become 4 and b has become 7. Okay, that is clear now. Let us now make a call to x with only one actual argument. Okay, let us see if this call is possible now. Earlier we have seen once we made a call to a function x with lesser number of arguments, the compiler reported an error. Okay, let me first compile it and you will see there is no error. Why there is no error? Even though we have given one actual argument lesser, because we have already specified the default value for the b and that value is 9. Okay, once I use F7, you see here I am making call to x, and if you see values of a and b, value of a has been taken as 3 and value of b has been taken as 9. So even though we have not specified the value of b, so this value of b, that is the 9 value, this is called the default value of the actual parameter, that is the second actual parameter. Since the first actual parameter I have specified as 3 and the second actual parameter I have not supplied in the call to the x, but that parameter has been taken as 9. So this is what we call as default values of the actual parameters. Now we can go ahead with the function call. The function call will take place and the statements of the function will be executed according to the logic, whatever statements will be placing there. I am simply writing these statements, but I want to explain actually what are the default values for the actual argument. Okay, now let us go for the second function. Let us the function void. Let us specify the default value for o. Okay, equal to suppose 8. Okay, once I specify the default value of o as 8, let us see what happens. Let me first compile. Okay, once I compile, you see there is an error. Why there is an error? Let me tell you why there is an error. Let us see the error first. The error is the default value missing following the parameter o. There is always a rule. The moment you give the default value to the first actual argument, all the actual arguments on the right of it should have a default value. That is, you need to specify the default values for L, let us suppose 0, and default values for M as well. Let us suppose it is 89. Okay, the moment you specify the first default value, all the parameters that are after it should be having the default values, and all the parameters which don't have a default value should be present at the beginning. So see, if you see the first formal parameter x does not have a default value, now o has a default value, L has a default value, and M has a default value. There is no rule that if one parameter has a default value, all of them should have a default value. You can place, if there is only one parameter that has got a default value, that can be placed at the end. That means you can reorder the parameters and place the parameters which have got default values at the end, and in the beginning you will place those formal parameters which don't have a default value. Okay, now we have one more parameter, that is x. let us give the default value to this also. Okay, once I compile, if you see, there won't be any error. Since there is no error, let us make a call to the void. Now first call to the void, I am passing all the 4 actual parameters. Since I am passing 4 the parameters, so these values that were given in the function call will override those values which are given as a default to these actual parameters. So the first actual parameter x will not hold the value 9, but it will hold the value 2. The second parameter o will not hold the value 8, it will hold the value 3, since I am specifying these values, 4 values in the function call. Okay, now let us first watch these values. Okay, what are the values of x? Okay, and what is the value of o once I make a call? Okay, and what is the value of L? Okay, and what is the value of M? Okay, now let me write the let us see how the first function call is executed. Okay, if you see, in the main I am calling y only. I have committed the call to x, and if you see, I am passing all the 4 actual arguments. Since there are 4 actual arguments and there are 4 formal parameters, even though I have specified the default values for the 4 actual arguments, they won't be considered. The values that I have passed will be considered. Okay, now let us see into the watch window. Okay, now we have got the following parameters, that is x, o, l and m. Okay, the moment I make a call, if you see, the value of x is 2, value of o is 3, and value of l is 4, and value of m is 5. So the default values have not been taken into consideration. Okay, now the values that are passed as the actual arguments always have the preference over the default values. Okay, now let us make different types of the calls that are possible for y now. Now since there are different values for all the parameters, I can make a call to y in which I am not passing any parameters. I can make a call to y in which I am passing the first parameter. Okay, I can make a call to y in which I can pass first 2 parameters as actual parameters, and I can make a call to y in which I can pass 3 actual parameters, and I can make a call to y in which I can pass all the 4 actual parameters. Okay, let me give the same value so that it will be differentiated. Okay, now it appears that we have got more than one function, but that is not the case. In this case, we are simply having a function which has got default values. This is not the case of function overloading. If you see in function overloading, we have the same function in which can vary in the type of the arguments or number of arguments, but here the number of arguments does not vary. This seems like a function overloading, but it is not actually a function overloading. It is a function with a default value, that there is a single function. There are not more one functions, but we can call the function by specifying different number of the actual arguments, depends upon the actual arguments which are called a default value. Now let us make a call to the function void, and the error is there. So we got error. Why we got error? There is a reason for it, because we have made a call to the function before we have defined it, and as I told you, there is a rule that the default values are to be specified in the prototype. Okay, now instead of specifying the default values in the function declarator, we have to specify them in the function prototype. Now how do we specify? We can omit the variable names and we can give the values. The first value is 9, second value is 8, 0 and 89. So we can give 8, 0 and 89. As I have told you, the variable names are not required in the prototype once we give the default values, and this is generally we can omit the variable names in the prototype even if they don't have the default values. Okay, now let us compile. and if you compile, you see there is a error now here. Okay, the error is that we have to remove these default values here now. Okay, so this way you should remember that we have to specify the default values in the prototype only in case we have called a function before it has been defined. Okay, now there won't be any error. Okay, we are not having any errors now. Now let us make a call to the function void. In case in the first call in the main we are specifying all the 4 arguments. Okay, now since we are specifying all the 4 arguments, if you see, we get the same values which we have specified in the function call for the actual arguments for x, o, l and m, that is 2, 3, 4 and 5. If you see in the void window, x has a value 2, o has a value 3, l has a value 4 and m has the value 5. Now in next call I am not specifying any of the actual arguments. Why? Because I have given default values for all the arguments. And if you see, the x, o, l and m will assume those values, that is the default values for all the 4 actual arguments, that's 9, 8, 0 and 89. Okay, that call is also successful. Now we can specify only one actual argument. If you specify the first only one actual argument, this argument, the first, that is the only one actual argument, will be used for x. All the other 3 what you call actual arguments after the x will be having default values. Okay, now for the second call, if you see, I am specifying the 2 actual arguments. So the first 2 actual formal parameters will have the copy of these values, and for the rest we will have a default values. If you see, x and o has got the received the value 2 and 2, and l and m have got default values, that is 0 and 89, which I have specified in the prototype. Okay, in the next call I am giving the default values for the first 3 actual arguments, and for argument m will have a default value. Okay, and in case if you see here, all the arguments have received the value 2. Since I am passing 2 as actual parameters, the 4th actual parameter has taken a default value. Now if I pass all the 4 values, all the default values will be replaced by these actual parameters, that is which I am passing at the point of call in the main. Okay, so in this case all the values have been passed. So this is what is meant by the default values of the actual arguments. So in C++, it is possible that we can specify the default values of the actual arguments either in the function definition, if the functions have been defined before they have been called, or in the function prototype, if the functions are called before they have been defined. In that case, we specify the default values of the actual parameters in the function prototype, as we did for y. But for the x, we did not specify the prototype. We simply specified the default values in the function definition, because we called x after it had been defined. Since we are calling the y before it has been defined, therefore we specified the default value of y in the what you call prototype. This is all about the default values. It appears that we have got multiple functions with the same name, but they can receive the different number of arguments. But in this case, we don't have a multiple definitions of the function. We have a single definition of the function, and again it gives a perception that this function is capable of handling variable number of arguments. In C++, it is possible that we have a function with a variable number of the arguments. That's a different technique, and we'll be seeing that also. But this is a different concept where we say that actual arguments can have the default value. So we can have functions with the default values for the actual arguments, or we can have functions which receive variable number of arguments. This is a different concept. Or we can have functions which have the same name but with they are defined multiple number of times. Or we can have functions which are independent of data type, that we will see in function templates. These are the different concepts that are related to the functions in C++. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching.